Happy New Year.
And good morning, guys. Welcome to the grounds with Giles, Jones, Slagle. That's who made it in today. I guess everyone else is out working.
Kelsey,
They're working
here momentarily.
Yeah, they're working on their new goals. They're working on their New Year's goals to get on time.
Of course, welcome in. Happy New Year 2026. Here we are. Uncle Pete's right down there in the corner. Put that right into your Earl. Become part of this great, weird, exceptional podcast.
I like those adjectives, man. Great, weird, and exceptional. So are you great? I'm weird. He's exceptional.
Always.
Okay, perfect. I love it. So I've got everything I need now. I'm going to take out. Thanks, guys. Have a great 2026.
Yeah, let's take care of some business.
Let's talk about something that very few of us pay attention to: print. Print is something that just seems to go unnoticed, and yet it is so influential in our everyday lives. We tend to go about our daily routines in a busy rush, and let's face it, there are some things that we may take for granted. We wake up and get ready for the day, and print is all around us. Imagine if it wasn't. Well, that's interesting. Now think about the rest of your day, and let's see what life may look like without print. Our drive to work would certainly be confusing without signage and window graphics. Do you realize how much print you see at the office? Your desk and walls would really look different without the wide variety of products you have all around you, such as brochures, pens, and flash drives. And that great little lunch spot? Well, it would be pretty hard to place an order without menus. No more mail? Really? Oh, I get it. Everyone just advertises online. The truth is, over 60% of online searches are conducted because of print marketing campaigns, including direct mail advertising, flyers, and catalogs. You see, print isn't just about magazines and newspapers. Print is about communication, and at Minuteman Press, we can print your name, image, or logo on just about anything. As a business owner, how do you get your message across and build brand awareness? From marketing and sales materials to labels and bags, to banners and flags, even custom branded apparel with your name and logo on it. At Minuteman Press, we design, print, and promote you. We are the modern printing industry. Find your local center today at MinutemanPress.com.
Back.
And we're back.
Holy cow, man. Welcome, guys, to the craziest and most unique podcast out there. At least so we think. Right?
I like that commercial there, Kent. It's nice. It's a good little commercial, yeah?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Well, the nice thing about what we do here today is we talk about everything from peanut butter to politics, but no politics because I don't know anything about them. So it's important. So what are we talking about today, Steve?
So today, we're talking about the new year, 2026.
2026 resolutions.
We're talking about resolutions, but not just our resolutions. What is the deal with people making these resolutions? I don't know if anybody's seen it yet. You go down to Forge Fitness, go down to Planet Fitness. Every treadmill is full. Every weight bench is full. You can't get a seat. You can't work out. And this is the time of year where all the people who work out all year long get really irritated by all the people with a New Year's resolution for the next week and a half until they give up on it.
Yeah.
In next week and a half. Is that it? 1 week, 2 weeks?
You know, the best part is you can actually go look at the people who stopped signing into the gym that got a membership for Christmas or for New Year's. And they'll post those, I'm sure, near the end of the year. They did so for 2025. The numbers are hysterical.
Wait, they posted at the gym of who's dropped off and who's there?
Yeah, you can go online and see what percentage of people were gifted a membership and actually used it throughout the year. And most of it is within the first 2 weeks, and then you don't see them again.
So are you a person that would go on and actually look at a stat like that?
Oh, well, I love stats like that. I think they're fascinating. Yeah.
There's 75 people here and 50 got their membership for Christmas.
Liars can figure, but figures don't lie.
My figure doesn't lie. It's an hourglass.
I think it's I love the new year. First of all, people they took out the punctuation for New Year's Eve, right? So everybody's like, hey, happy New Year's. Like there's more than 1 year. It's supposed to be apostrophe. It's the new year, comma, it belongs to, right?
Yeah.
The Eve belongs to the New Year. So
the ownership.
New Year's. Well, how many are we having here?
Depends on how long you live.
I don't understand. This is New Year. Yeah, I hope that you have a good New Year. Everybody's it's at Chicago. Hey, New Year's. Hey,
how you do? Happy New Year to yourself.
Explains.
It's because we call it New Year's Eve and then New Year's because we won't think about it. Or like my grandma, like you said, adding an S to anything. I'm gonna go down to the Jewels. I'm gonna go down to the Aldi's.
We're gonna go to the Jewels.
No, every word she pluralized it because she's from Chicago.
That's awesome.
Hey, happy New Year, Shayna. Welcome in. She says,
Hey,
give it a week.
Morning, Shayna.
Not even.
And absolutely agree with that. Yep.
Well, so what's your stance, Ket, on New Year's goals, New Year's resolutions? You put them together? Do you actually get sucked into that whole hole?
So I don't. My
good.
If you watch Innovative Intuitions, a new show here on 216 with Luna Goddess, she talked about that on her last episode last Friday, and the big thing was is I said, well, my year starts in July. That's when I was born, right? So my journey around the sun started when I got pooped out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dude.
Right?
Sure.
So at the calendar year, I don't get too excited about it because it doesn't resonate with me, right? I really don't care. But the couple things that I do write down goals for the year, but I do it in July, right? Mine's July to July.
Okay.
But what I do at the calendar year is I pick out a word that I try to live into for that calendar year, right? So I'll pick out a word.
Morning, Kels.
What is that, anti-disestablishmentarianism this year? Let me look that one up real quick. Holy Christ.
You're going to live a weird life this year, Ken.
Yeah. So
He's against the establishment. Man, come on.
So my word for 2026 is intentionality. So I want to do things very intentional. I want to be very intentional this year with what I do and how I do with everything, whether it's what I eat, whether it's what I read, and so that's what I do at the calendar year. I don't make a resolution. A lot of people, I'm going to quit eating chocolate. I'm going to quit smoking. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Right?
So a bunch of nonsense in my mind.
Yeah. So a lot of times throughout the years, I've just done things, and sometimes the calendar ends up running me instead of me controlling the calendar and things like that. So this year I'm really looking at intentionality. What am I doing right now? And being very, very mindful, but intentional with what I do. I'm not perfect. There'll be times when I'll have a cigar, a pipe, a drink, whatever. But why am I doing it? It's got to be very intentional.
Well, that's a great question. That's kind of like the Simon Sinek, why? What's your why? Yeah. Well, you're intentionally doing things because why waste your time? If you're going to exist and you're going to move forward, why waste your time on something that means nothing?
Good morning.
We can still touch.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Happy Hanukkah.
And so many people don't, right? And I know I didn't, right? For a lot of times, but really kind of what I've been reading and studying and things like that is I'm like, I really want to pull intentionality into this year. So
I mean, that's definitely better than people that are doing the New Year's Eve, resolutions. I don't believe in them one bit. I think it's just a bandwagon, right? Everyone gets on. What's your New Year's resolution? Dude, why wasn't your resolution, like you said, you do it in July? Why didn't you do it in July? Why don't you do it all year long? Why is it one specific day, right, that you have to do this? Because everyone else is. For me, every day is another day, not first.
I picked resolutions at some point when I was a kid. You know what I mean? Like, everyone's like, oh, New Year's resolutions. And the first time you hear about it, you're like, cool. Let me pick something, right? I don't think mine have really changed that much over the years, though. It's just like a consistent.
So you have the same one every year?
Pretty much. Yeah.
And what's that?
Be a good person, be kind to others, spread positivity.
What?
Well, yeah, right. And obviously no more certain charges that were, never proven anyway.
Allegedly.
Yeah. I tucked it away before the police got there.
Hey.
Oh, by the way, I have to say this. Your kid could win any competition for cute kids. The cutest kid. I mean, her son is possibly the cutest kid I've ever seen on the planet. His hair with his like the flat top thing you had going for Christmas and that big old smile on his face. I don't think I've ever seen a cuter kid. I was staring, I went and showed that picture to people and I'm like, I can't even believe that. Because he's so cute. Just I had to tell you that.
Thank you.
I had-
Thank you.
I hope that adorable little guy had an amazing
It is weird
Christmas.
that he had a 3x4 poster blown up and put into his garage.
Dude, that's the cutest kid you've ever seen.
My God, that is. You can't show that online.
You can't see anything.
That's-
That's that picture I sent you, Hudson. We went to the zoo and he's just pop, gotta pee. I'm like, just right in the parking lot. He's a true Giles. I love it. His intentionality was very specific that day.
Shayna says, 30 years ago, I made a resolution to never wait for the calendar to flip.
Make another resolution.
To reroute. It's the only one I've ever been able to keep. Yeah. I'm with you. I said that a long time ago too. Taking responsibility for the energy you bring is a big flex. So is a keto diet. So there's that. LOL.
I think people put way too much emphasis on making a New Year's goal because that's what everyone else is doing, right? And the pressure just really kills a lot of people. And I think that's one of the small reasons that so many people fail, because I'm using Kent's word, their intentionality for their New Year's Eve goal is wrong.
Yeah.
Right. They're not doing it. Well, they're not doing it for the right reasons.
Right. Somebody told them to pick a goal. They did. They never really cared.
Right.
They just picked one arbitrarily and then they gave up on it because it wasn't theirs in the first place.
There was the reasoning behind it didn't make any sense. They just did it. They just jumped on the bandwagon because everyone, what are you doing this year, Steve? Well, I'm going to be me and do the same thing tomorrow that I did today, hopefully. And I love the fact that you say just being a nicer person. I mean, that's what the world needs, and that's something you practice every day. And, maybe New Year's can remind you that maybe you weren't the best if you want to look at it that way. But for me, New Year's is literally just another new calendar year.
So as you know, with this topic that we chose, got to do a little research because I'm all about intentionality, right? So New Year's resolution started over 4,000 years ago with the ancient Babylonians. You probably didn't know that.
Those
who
bastards.
made promises to their gods during their New Year festival, Akitu, Akitu, to pay debts and return borrowed items for good favor. A practice later adopted and evolved by Romans and eventually secularized into modern self-improvement goals. So it's been going on for a long time. Long time.
And it still probably has the same efficacy on people that make their goals.
Yeah.
They've been trying to get it right for 4,000 years. It ain't working.
Interesting. Their New Year, the Babylonian New Year, was in mid-March with a 12-day festival. So Akitu was.
I like that 12-day festival for New Year's.
Yeah.
Well, some people do it in February for like the fiscal year for like businesses because like the last inventory doesn't run until like the first week in February. So I've heard some people just following the business calendar.
I disagree
So,
with that. I just
I
do it
don't
the
really
last 4 days doing inventory.
Right. I just picture because human nature hasn't changed that much. 3,500 years ago on New Year's, some guy in a loincloth was like in the middle of the desert. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna run across this whole flat and back. And I'm gonna do that. But you know what? Give me 3 weeks, I'll be able to run that.
I had a different vision. I had a different vision.
A week and a half in, he's like, you know what? I really like honey wine and just sitting in the shade. Like, I think that's gonna be my new thing. I'm not the running guy. That's the running guy. Look at him. He's awesome.
I got a totally different vision in my head when you said, I'm thinking the caveman going like this. I'm gonna quit dragging my woman around by the hair. That's my New Year's resolution because I keep pulling it out. That's because they fail every year at that resolution.
It's also a significant amount of time prior.
Get your ass.
Or she smiles and then you just can't let it go.
I don't know. I believe in New Year's resolutions because I was raised on them. Both my parents being teachers and coaches, and then everybody around me, everybody did them, but they stuck to them. So I don't know the folks that Scott are talking about. I actually don't know anybody like that.
That's sad.
So it's just, that's your perception though. So
no, it's the reality.
It's not reality. There's no stats that show that because why are still 5,000 people doing it every fucking year?
Stats don't mean anything. It's what you do with your life and how you feel
anyway,
and what's most important to you. That's right.
I still believe in them, and a lot of people I know still do it because it's like we self-analyze through the year. Like you said, sometimes a calendar catches up to you quicker than you can catch up to a calendar.
But why does one day make it?
Can you stop talking so I can talk, please?
Not at all.
Say that again.
So sometimes the calendar catches up to you. I can't re-say what the fuck I just said,
That was
but
good though.
it was, yeah, I don't know. But basically it comes down to we self-analyze. So it's just like in my family and people that I involve myself around, we self-analyze every month, if not every year. So it's like, well, what could I have done differently?
Yeah.
You know, so it's just for me this year, mine is I desire what I deserve. And that's a phrase I'm saying in my head the whole year.
Yeah.
And you can also say it the other way. I deserve what I desire.
Yeah.
So it goes either way. And that's something me and my friend are both working on because you still have weak moments throughout the year.
Yeah.
Vulnerability, you know? So it's just one of those like, well, how can I maybe sit in silence and not do something stupid because my emotions took over?
So do you track it? How do you track it?
Through my phone, I have notes. That's what her and I do. And then we have pep talks every week, you know, self-analyzing.
I'm the guy as well who like, I don't journal, right? I don't. I do have a gratitude app and I'll, put things in there, but I don't like journal. And I'm the type of guy too, like when I go to a meeting, I'll take copious notes, but I never look at them.
Copious. I like that.
No, writing them down is good enough. You got it in your head now.
Yeah. So I never, I have notebooks of notes from meetings and everything. And I'm like, oh, I wonder what I was thinking here. And then I'm like, why do I even still have this? I don't work at the bank anymore.
Right
so
now.
throw this up, and I never revisit a note that I take. And that's where, and I like, we're kind of on the same thing. Mine's intentionality is I think not everybody. I think a lot of people do that self-reflection and deal with that. Right. And what I'm learning is, as you get older, what I'm learning is every day is a gift. Right. And it's because, if you wake up, it's a good day.
Absolutely.
No matter what, it's a good day, right? Because that's not guaranteed. Yeah.
So I think the difference in the philosophy is because, what Scott was talking about, what I was talking about earlier, are specific New Year's goals, right? Like it's New Year's. I'm forced to come up with goals because it's New Year's, right? Whereas yours, those are just your goals. They're not specifically New Year's goals. You thought about them on New Year's because that's what people do. But you had those goals. You check in monthly. You have an accountability partner that you check in with. Those are just normal goals. And you could call them a New Year's resolution because you thought about them extra hard at New Year's, but you had them all year long. And I think that's really the difference between the people that give up on their New Year's resolutions and the people that don't. Is it a goal that you've been working toward? Is it something you just want to double down on? Is it something you've thought about previously? Or did somebody just say, pick 3 things? And you're like, I'm going to cut out sugar and I'm going to go jogging and I'm going to be nicer to babies or something, like,
Right.
And then it's like, but you don't, because you just picked them arbitrarily. You didn't think about them. You didn't check in, and, in 2 weeks they're forgotten.
Right. Well, for me, like resolution, right? You're resolving something, whatever that may be. I don't resolute, right? Yeah. And for me, I mean, whatever people need to do to make themselves feel happy and move forward in the world, that's fine. But putting one day, that much pressure on people one day to come up with an idea to change their world that most people don't even want to do. They do it for the wrong reasons.
I don't think they just go, okay, New Year, here's my. I think people think about it, right? And they probably think about it through December, like, okay, year's ending. Let me take inventory of this year.
Right, but why not do it all year long?
I'd say they put more thought into it in December than they do in January.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. And they don't. It's something you should be thinking about realistically all year long. For some reason, somebody's put that one date on it. Hey, it's the new calendar year. Let's make this your day to say, I'm going to change, instead of every day. When you wake up every day being the present, right, you should be working on those things. It doesn't matter if it's a date. Date's arbitrary. Date's very arbitrary, but it gets everybody on the same page or wanting to, be part of the bandwagon, if you will.
I still know grown-ass adults who are like, oh, it's my birthday week, right?
Or my month.
Or it's my birthday
Yeah,
month.
that's nonsense.
What the fuck? Right? But I think everybody, there's a place, whether it's March, for the Babylonians, or whether it's my birthday, or whether it's New Year, that there's a starting point and a finish point. And I think that's what's bred into humans, is you're starting and you're finishing. So a lot of people use the calendar year, right? I mean, Luna Goddess will say, actually, you should do it in spring, because that's out with the old and with the new, with spring, the new life that's coming. And then, of course, me, I'm like, well, actually, the growth starts during the winter.
Well, if you wanted to, I mean, for me, if you wanted to pick a day during the year, why wouldn't it be your birthday? Right? Because that's your birthday. You're older. Why wouldn't you set your intentionality or your goals, right? Going, all right, I made it around another year around this on this blue marble.
Right. So, I mean,
where do I really want to go? How do I want to get there?
So you could say I do New Year's resolutions, just not on the calendar, not on the 31st of December. I say that my New Year starts on July 18th.
It does.
Gifts are accepted. That's right.
Bye, baby.
And so so that's where I will spend June and the first part of July really taking a look at my inventory and what I've done over the year and whatnot, and take a look at my goals that I did write down and go, okay, where did I go? There was a time, there was a year that one of my goals, one of my rewards to hit a goal was to have a camper, right? Get a camper put in and have it in my driveway. It's exactly what I said. Somebody on Facebook was giving away a camper, a pop-up. It didn't work, and I'm like, well, I go over there and I get it. And, crazy thing is, Coach Papa from Two Bald Guys and a Microphone, was like, you got one of your goals. I'm like, what? He goes, one of your goals was have a camper. You got a camper. I'm like, oh.
You didn't say it had to be functional, right?
Right.
You weren't specific.
And you know what? I fixed it. I fixed pulleys. I fixed everything on it. And I ended up selling it for a couple $100. And, I was like, hey, it's a good turnaround for me, but if I wouldn't have written it down, I wouldn't have gone, I can go and check that off. Right.
Yeah.
Now I was thinking something big, beautiful with pop outs,
You wanted the Winnebago?
Yeah. That's an RV. There's an RV, Clark. So I think it is that, but I don't play into the calendar year, new year for my resolutions.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I still am playing on what I am, but what I do is I say, okay, 2026, being a business person, a lot of times there's a theme, there's something to get you motivated. So I think of a word, and the word this year for me is intentionality. That's my calendar year resolution, right? Or being resolute to that.
I mean, I think it's the thing with putting a resolution together is it's trying to give people, I'm going to use this word and it'll probably upset people, but hope that they can change, right? You know how hard it is really to change as a person. And, the reasoning behind a lot of, like I said earlier, the reasoning behind a lot of these resolutions or goals is not pure. It's not coming from really deep inside of you as the most part. The ones that fail, I feel personally, are the ones that are doing it for all the wrong reasons. Right? They're doing it because what they think other people want them to do, or jumping on the bandwagon to do what other people, instead of what really drives them.
Well, October through the end of the year is the most marketed time of the year, right?
It's horrible.
And what people don't understand now with algorithms, you are getting exactly what you really have looked at and want, and people don't understand that. So you are being marketed to these companies for a long, long time, and you see it, 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 and then all of a sudden you're like, yeah, I'm not happy with the way I look, or yeah, my bank account's not as full as it should be, or and so over the 4,000 years, what we've lost track of is that it's not really our resolutions. This is what the algorithm is telling me that I need in my life, or I need to do. And I don't think that anybody fails at a resolution, right? I don't. You learn, right? So you end up going, I'm going to go to the gym. Everybody likes that. But nobody does the research. Nobody does the education. Nobody gets with a professional to say, here's how you want to ease into this so that you make a lasting impression and you do it all year. What they do is they go and they hit some machine, and then 2 days later, they're sore as shit. They're like, I'm not going into the gym.
Right. And that's what I'm talking about, them not being serious or having the right reasons behind it. Why their algorithm tells them they need to go because that's what everyone else is doing. Like, be yourself, right? If you want to go, go. And if you know what, if you fail, you never actually missed your resolution or fail at it. You just failed today. Start again tomorrow. Every day is a new day for that. Just doesn't mean that if I failed one, that's the thing is a lot of these people I see, They missed the gym one day and they're like, "Whoop, that's it. I lost it." Well, no, go back tomorrow. Start again tomorrow.
And again, I don't think anybody fails on their resolutions, right? Because I think fails a hard word. It's
What word would you use?
I don't know.
They
Faltered?
Stop.
Altered?
You stop.
They rearranged.
Yeah, or rearrange. You stop chasing it, man.
No, and I understand like the idea of it, but if you're in the middle of a basketball game and your ladies walk off the court, like you could call it you withdrew, but at the end of the day, that's a failure. You quit. If you quit, you fail. And I feel, and that's just universal. Like if your goal was to go to the gym every day and you stopped a week in, I consider that a failure. Like I know you're like, okay, but you can't fail. You can go back later and try again. But I feel like that's you trying again. That's a new attempt. It's a different thing. If you tried and then you gave up, I feel like you failed.
Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with failure as long as you learn from it and move forward.
Failure,
right.
But
I think a lot of people need to reassess on a daily basis, right? I mean, Kelsey says she talks to her friends about, I forgot what the word you use describe as far as like a pump up meeting or just to keep you accountable, right? Like what you guys are doing. That's a good thing. Why is it not all year long, right? And that's the thing. It's like it's so much information, so much stress gets put on this one day. What'd you say you're going to do? And then if you falter, because I'm not going to use the word fail either. I mean, you can. I have no problem. I fail all the time. But if you falter, reassess. Go back. Why did I choose? I ask people, why did you choose that goal? And people are like, you really actually boggles a lot of people. Why did you choose that goal? And then usually they'll spew something that's, that the other person might want to hear. Well, because of. Well, look deep down.
7 layers of why.
Right, exactly. Dig down deep inside. Really, why?
If that resolution doesn't make you cry or choke you up, then is it worth it?
Why do it? Why do it?
Right.
Why waste your time? Because there's so much pressure. Think about the stress that people have. I made a resolution. I got to stick to it. Well,
I love
why?
it. A lot of people like the pressure though.
Yeah.
For themselves, especially if you were an athlete.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That pressure is amazing. And if you don't fall under pressure, you can keep up with it all year.
Yeah.
And then that's another thing I get to add to my canvas. We are our own canvases. So now I got to add that characteristic or that strength to me. And then next year I got to pick something new.
Yeah.
So it's like every year I look at it as like
or get a tap.
Because like some years or some days you have pennies, some days you have dimes, some days you have nickels, some days you have quarters. Some days I get a $5 bill and I'm like, yes, I can finally get coffee. But it's like some days you're winning, and some days you're losing. So it's just, yes, that's why the way that I think is how I do it. Like every year is a piggy bank.
Yeah, I like that.
So it's just, and how he just said he fails sometimes. Well, if you say you can change every day, why are you even failing?
Ooh.
Because I'm trying something and I didn't have either the right information.
That's
all right, I'm doing it. Here, let me rephrase that. I'm doing it and it didn't turn out the way that I wanted it, right? Or the way that I had hoped. So I reassess. I look back at it and go, why did that happen? Right. But I don't do it based on one day a year. I do it based on my lifetime goals. Right. And I do have like things that I want to accomplish in that year, but it's not a resolution because resolution, you're resolving something. I don't feel there's anything I need to resolve in my life. There's things I might want to change. There's things I might want to better myself by, but I'm not relying on one day a year to tell me to do that because that's really stressful for people, whether they're going to admit to you or not, because now they got to keep themselves accountable.
Yeah.
And people having to be accountable for things is tough. People don't like that stress.
So that's 100% what I was just going to say is a lot of this comes down to personal accountability. And a lot of people don't necessarily have that as one of their strongest skills, even if they want to accomplish a goal. Right. I think it's interesting because you did bring up sports, and I think that's a great example. If my goal is to get myself to the gym every day and I don't have the level of personal accountability needed to do so, I'm not going to go to the gym every day. However, if I join a team sport and I have Kent every day being like, all right, 5 more pounds, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it, I'm probably going to go and get it done. I've got now somebody else responsible for my accountability. Right. And all I have to do is bring 50%. He brings the other 50. Now I've got somebody helping me with accountability. You said you have a friend, you check in together. She's helping you with accountability. I think that's fantastic. And that is probably one of the better ways to accomplish your goals. But I think that is the reason for a lot of the failures, people that don't have that accountability. They're like, well, the only person I'm accountable to is myself and I don't care enough. And so they give up.
And I appreciate what you're saying. However, if Kelsey's holding me accountable and I'm playing checkers when I should be playing chess, So I've been playing the wrong game, and Kelsey's like, "Hey, way to go, way to go, way to go! You keep doing it, keep doing it." And I keep getting further and further and further and further and further and further away from what I'm supposed to be, what I should be doing. Then what good is that accountability?
Well, does your accountability partner actually really know what you're trying to achieve? Why the reason? What's the reasoning? Well, right. Well, exactly.
I mean,
Thank you. I'm
those are
glad you said that.
Patient.
I'm glad you said that, because that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. Why did you make these goals or your resolution? Where is it really coming from, right? Is it something that you really care about, or is it something that you think the world cares about and you want to adapt and, bandwagon in with them?
Our life is the ocean. I mean, from the surface, it looks pretty, but you don't know what the hell's under there.
Well, my feet are spinning nonstop.
You really don't know what the hell's deep down under there. And if you're truly going to set a goal, you have to dive down deep into the depths of the unknown to see fish that you ain't never seen in your life, to go, okay, this if I really want this goal, here's what has to happen. A lot of us think that resolutions and goals are a mere recipe. And I'm just gonna, hey, I want to lose weight, 10 pounds. I won't eat sugar. I will walk. I will drink more water. Right. So we put a recipe together, and we think that that's good, but we don't understand the true motivation, or what's down deep in that ocean that's going to prevent us from doing any of that. Right. And so when we talk about resolutions are a wish list, perhaps for most, because we don't do that self-reflecting to go, okay, man, I need a week to just sit by myself and dive deep into this ocean and see what the hell's down there that's going to prevent me from accomplishing.
Well, and are people making their goals real? If they're doing a resolution, right? If that's the thing that you do, are you being realistic with that goal? Especially, we'll use the workout one, because that seems to be the biggest one out there, right? Yeah. I'm going to work out. I'm going to get in shape,
Working
right?
Out and dieting. That's like
right.
The two
So
biggest.
Being realistic with what you're doing is very important. You can't just say, I'm going to jump in the gym and in 2 weeks, right? Because I think that's what the normal is. It takes about people 2 weeks to falter, right? Yeah, that I'm not really seeing any results by then. So they give up, but they're not being realistic. It takes a lot more time than that.
They've had this week off, so they get in the gym this week, and then they got to go back to school.
Their normal routines.
Well, and I do think it's important to note that going to the gym every day is as Kent said, it's kind of a weak resolution, though, because you didn't think about it. What are you actually trying to accomplish? Showing up a place is not an accomplishment in and of itself. Losing weight, gaining muscle, gaining endurance, these are goals that you work on in a gym. Yeah. Going to the gym isn't necessarily a well thought through plan. It's just saying, I'm going to show up at the gym. Then you show up and it's really easy to get overwhelmed. It's really easy to lose your focus.
Or you're there and you're just talking to the 17-year-old men that are just there to
and that's a very open-ended, right? That's not specific there. I'm going to go to the gym for what? What are you going to do? What are you going to accomplish? How long do you give yourself?
But if you sat down and you thought about it and you're like, well, okay, over the last couple of years, I've developed these bad habits in eating, and I haven't been getting this exercise. And for work, I've noticed I'm struggling with X, Y, Z. You put all that together and you're like, okay, well, maybe I need to learn how to lift more weight using my knees with proper form. You have a set goal. And then also you can say, I'm not going to eat these specific things. They go hand in hand. You're working on a greater plan. The more detailed you get, the more thoroughly identifiable your goals are.
It's easier to follow,
to accomplish.
So quickly,
we can't see comments.
It's we're at that halfway point.
Indeed.
So let's make sure we hear from our sponsor.
You have a great business. You know it. Your employees know it, and so do we. So how do we get everyone else to know it? And how can you do it cost effectively? It's simple. Use EDDM. EDDM is a direct mail marketing program from the United States Postal Service named Every Door Direct Mail, and it allows you to get your message out for a fraction of the cost of a stamp. Here's how it works. Start by contacting your local Minuteman Press. We are your EDDM experts. Together, we will manage these important steps. First, set a budget that will give you the biggest ROI. Second, design a creative mail marketing piece with an awesome offer. Third, choose the best delivery routes based on demographics and geography. Fourth, print, bundle, and take your mail to the delivery post office. Fifth, manage a schedule for distribution using USPS mail carriers. 70% of people surveyed say that receiving mail is more personal than the internet. And 73% of consumers say they prefer direct mail for brand communication because they can read it at their convenience. With cost-effective EDDM, you can maximize your return on investment. Minuteman Press is your EDDM and direct mail experts. You know your business. We know how to promote it. We are the modern printing industry. Find your nearest Minuteman Press at minutemanpress.com.
What did you get him to color with?
Listen, and here's the best thing. Here's what I like, and that us dudes have to be very understanding about is moms, especially single moms. The whole resolution and whole goal setting is all different because moms never get a day off.
Yeah,
right?
Barely a minute.
Dads can take days off, minutes off, hours off all the time, and we do all the time, right? And so I always love Kelsey's point of view from it because, she's a killer mom. She's slaying life, but she's, a single mom, which is amazing to me. Right. And I love her passion, and the tonality is you fucking
Tonality. Say that again. Tonality, not toenail.
And I love it because, of course, I'm surrounded by women all the time. But you pick up on the tonality, and she's doing her best not to just look at us and go, "You're all fucking idiots."
She's saying that in her head. She just hasn't verbally yet, and that's okay. That's a good thing.
Speaking of moms, what did she say over there?
Therapy.
Yeah, there.
Absolutely, every day.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree. Also, I'm glad you figured it out today, Ma.
All right, so let's jump into the beans. We're in that part of the show. Let's jump into the beans. See what the beans have for us this year.
Let's go, Sheldon.
26.
Is there even anything in there?
Hold on. It's just really deep in there.
Steve taped it to the bottom so he makes sure he gets the right one.
That's what she said.
Did that off camera so it looked on there.
That's what she said.
Mary Poppins in it.
Holy Christ. That's a whole book.
How are you going to make 26 different than 25? It's kind of a resolution based.
How are you going to make 26 different than 25?
That's a good question. How are you making
I don't know.
26 different from 2025?
So, and again, it does come back to resolutions, but what I do is I thought about it and I'm like, all right, I love my wife a bunch. I go out of my way for her. Well, I'm going to do that more. You know what I mean? So I look at the things that I'm doing and I'm like, did I back off of being like extremely thorough with the people around me and the relationships in my life? So then I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to spend more time, bringing Sam random flowers or something. And that's more along the lines of what I'm going to do differently. Is just
nothing says I love you and I've been thinking you more than dead.
Right, I was going to say, Steve's just wanting to get a little more nookie, more flowers, more nookie. Here, babe, take these. They're good for 2 days.
They never die.
Yeah.
No, I could be like her dad. So
Steve's out at the cemetery. Oh, this looks like a nice.
Yeah. Why?
Hey, it's called recycling, Ken. It's called recycling. Honey, I'm really good for the environment. I upcycled these for you. I got them off of Betty Davis's.
Sam, why are they in a square? It's for your pillow, honey.
It's because you're such a beautiful lady. You're not square. I wanted to give them to you.
No, I could be like her dad. Her dad, the last 2-3 years in a row, has given us a project. He'll go to the nursery and he'll be like, oh, $80. Great. $80 present is a great present, unless it comes with 16 hours of work, which is what he's consistently done. I have
That's a great present.
I got a freaking Japanese maple tree in my yard. Okay, this Japanese maple tree was this big when we got it, and that thing has been a pain.
Is it bilingual?
This thing. Oh yeah, it's okay. Every year I gotta wrap the thing in a little sweater, and I gotta go out there and I gotta trim its little leaves, and I gotta put stuff on it. This has been
he did that intentionally.
This has been a 3-year project. The year he gave it to us, I had to dig the hole in the yard, and I was like, officially not worth $80. I would not dig this hole for $80. And then every year since, this has been like a running joke.
Think about every time he sees that tree, he's like, I know he has to work his ass off to keep it done. He's keeping you busy.
It's like, yeah, Dale, why don't you just grab us a child while you're at it? Just, you could just gift that to us and we'll just take care of it for the rest of our freaking lives, I guess.
So you're gonna treat Sam better. That's how your 26 is gonna
Yeah, doing more stuff for her to make her feel special. Yeah.
I like that. Kels, what about you? How are you making 26 different than 25?
Just cutting off the loose ends.
Yeah.
Really. Those who tend to drown me more than help me swim.
I love that.
So
That's important.
Same
kinda
here.
What I've been doing.
Looking at you, Ma.
So what's the struggle you go through? With your personality.
Because I have such a good heart. That's my issue. Is I will allow somebody to run me over 5,000 times. That's my issue.
Yeah, that's not a what do I want to say? It's not a weak mentality. You
Sure it is.
Well,
It definitely can be.
it can be.
But people don't understand that, like, and I am big into the zodiac signs.
Right.
So us as Cancers, we can sense an asshole from like 5 miles away.
Absolutely.
And I can sense when somebody is
Yeah.
not emotionally intelligent. So it's just kind of one of those, like, I just want to see everybody succeed, though. Like, I don't care where you come from, walks of life. I want to see people succeed. And I've had different opportunities than somebody else has.
And a lot of people, as a Cancer, a lot of people mistake our happiness and willingness to help as weakness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just feel like we could all be like Avatar and let's connect, connect our souls. But no, that would be mine, is just cutting off those who drown me. And it's definitely a hard thing because I've known them for so many years.
Steve, you're no longer your mom's favorite.
I'm not. That's fine. She can choose my brother instead. Oh wait, I'm an only child, so
that you know of.
Oh yeah. Speaking of that, I know of, right? So one of my mom's great gifts for me this year was technically a gift to herself. Do you know what happens when you gift an ancestry kit to your direct descendant? They fill it out for you and it counts for you. My mom was like so brilliant. She's like, here's your ancestry kit. Again, another $80 present that takes weeks upon weeks upon weeks of work to fill out. So I've been doing that for her, looking at our family tree.
Shanna says, didn't take you as a tree hater, but it is true that it's a party foul to give a gift that requires manual labor.
I got a question. I got a question for Kelsey. How can you sense that somebody does not have emotional intelligence or IQ?
By conversations that you have with them. So there's a study out there, and my therapist does it with us. You ask these 5 questions, and you have these conversations with them, and then you can definitely tell somebody who's not emotionally intelligent.
Well,
And you can tell by body language. You can tell by tone of voice. Yep. You can you tell by the way that they answer.
Yeah, for sure.
And makes you want to back up even more.
Yeah.
As long as you can pay attention to it.
I had a psychologist come in and talk to the team, and it opened their eyes a lot. We talked about emotional intelligence.
That word is perception for people who are emotionally intelligent.
When it's so tricky, like I got a very good friend of mine and he's a real smart guy, really nice guy, good job, makes a bunch of money, whatever. And one of the least emotionally intelligent people that I know. And it comes through in the weirdest of ways, emotional intelligence is definitely one of those things.
How are you answering that? How are you making 2025 different from 2026 different from 2025? I'm in 2024 still, I guess.
Honestly, I'm continuing the same thing. It's a calendar year for me. There's nothing different. I'm continuing. I already have what I'm doing and the path I'm on. I'm just continuing in that path. I guess try to enjoy it a little bit more.
How do you do that?
Well,
That's
what I'm doing.
almost-
I'm leaving in a couple days.
Yeah.
I'm going to enjoy my hard work, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to disappear and I'm going to go do what I want to do because that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
Right. And because I can do it.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of times when people do their goals, it's something maybe that they want to do, but they just can't like hammer it down or really follow through is weak.
Good luck getting back into the country.
Hey, if I don't get back in the country, I ain't worried about it, to be honest with you. But it's one of those things. It's just, well, you always hear people, I wish I would have done that,
Yeah.
And, we had the show that we talked about regrets, right? Like I have no regrets. There's things in my life that I regretted doing, but I don't regret that.
Yeah.
Right. Because it made me who I am. So no, I don't see any real way other than just being me and doing, continuing on the journey, if you will, that I've been on. Because I love what I'm doing. I love where I'm going. I've got really good support behind me.
Yeah.
And for me, I guess helping push a little bit more to help other people that are maybe struggling.
You love absolutely everything that happened in 2025, and you want 2026 to be just the same.
No, I don't love it, but I can't change it. Made my year was great. I had a great year, and it happened because of what happened to me. I just adapted. I adapted.
What you're saying you're doing to make it different is you're going to sit back and go, job well done. Good.
No, I don't ever sit on my laurel. I don't ever rest on my laurels. I just keep rolling. But I mean, I'm going to enjoy it more, right? I'm going to continue making sure that what my goals, if you will, or the way that I want to live is pushed forward, is keep going, right? Because a lot of times people will look at what other people on the outside world, will go, oh, what does everyone else want me to do?
Yeah.
What should I be doing? What does the world accept? I don't give a shit. I really fucking don't care. It's what I want.
That's obvious.
Right. That's right. And
There are
that's
a lot of
why
topics.
and that's why I am who I am and where I am. You know what I mean? Because I do me.
Look, what you hear a lot of words. This man worries so much about what the world thinks. It's crazy. And it's true. It's true, right? I mean, he's very successful. And he has in the community that he lives in, he doesn't want to come off as the wrong type of person, right?
Well,
so you can't say you don't care.
Well, so I do care, and I'll expound upon that. So what I do care about, right, is like I'm out there. I have multiple businesses, right, and how people perceive me. I can't change how they perceive me, but I can put off, right. I can't say certain things because, unfortunately, this world will just scold the shit out of you. Like that's one reason we don't talk politics. When we started the show, right, 5 years ago, we don't talk politics because no matter what you do, no matter what you say, there's always people that are just going to fricking beat the hell out of you, right? And they're going to call you names. They're going to try to belittle you in front of other people for their benefit, right? So I care because it's important and to what my goals, right, or my life plan is, right? I don't need other people to not come visit my stores because I believe in the color blue is better than the color red. So that's one reason I don't get on Facebook, social media, all that bullshit that people get on, because that's realistically, let's be real. I mean, a lot of that social media shit is for the approval of others and paying attention to others. I don't care. I do, as you put it, worry that I'm putting out the right message for what my brand is, right? Because it's very important, because in this cancel culture world of assholes, you say something that they don't like, they're going to tell 25 different people. They're going to keyboard warrior the shit out of you, right? But they would never say it to you in front of your face. I'm different. I'll say it to you right in front of your face. I don't care who you are, but I do have to think about and worry about what I say and how that could adversely affect my businesses, right? So I do worry.
Shannon says, give those with low EQ a wide berth. My mom used to say you can't fly with eagles if you hang with the turkeys.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
So with every year that passes, I have less interest in pretending to be interested.
I agree.
Great, Shannon. Great.
Heather says amen. Absolutely.
I think that's why we get quiet as women.
Your mom's listening now, Steve. You better make sure she didn't hear that comment.
What you just said, while being true, isn't a New Year's resolution. Just you trying to make everybody like you. That's just a constant state of being.
Well, that's why I say I don't do a resolution.
Right. But you did tell me a resolution when we were camping. You've said you've lost some friends recently and you wanted to make a resolution to stay in contact with the ones that are left and spend more time with them. That to me is a resolution. Yeah. You made that over the summer or whenever the last one passed. And I'm sorry about that. But that's when you made that resolution. But that's a resolution you're actively working on this year, isn't it?
So no, I'll say I would not say difference for me, resolution goal, right? Resolution is resolving, fixing something. I guess in a way this is, but is appreciating the people in front of you while you have them, because you don't know that they're there. And because of my journey that I'm on, right? Like I don't have a lot of time for going out and doing, I guess I could if I wanted to, but I'm just really focused on what I'm doing. I'm really enjoying it. And having people pass away, obviously, makes you think. Unfortunately, people dying is one of the things that makes people think for a second, oh my God. So it's like, all right, how many more years do I have with these guys, right? Let's just keep in touch with them. And so that is more of a personal thing because those people are people that have shaped me or helped shape who I am, good, bad, or indifferent, right? I mean, let's be real. Friends aren't always the best to you, right? They'll shit on you. They'll say stupid things to you, usually out of insecurities, right? But so I guess you could call it, it's more of a goal. Like I said, my difference between goal and resolution, but I'm glad you remembered that, dude. You're paying attention other than staring at my Fred Flintstone feet, right?
The feet were really distracting. You're lucky I remember anything but the feet.
I went on a podiatrist website, and my feet look no different than anyone else's, except my nails are not yellow like most people.
I think we just found a secret 26 resolution.
Yeah.
So what about you?
So the things that I'm going to do differently in 26 than I did in 25 is two. One is I'm the guy who's like, hey, it's not on my calendar. It didn't happen. So I would have everything on my calendar. And then it was too easy to just go, no, I'm going to stick with this thing and skip that thing. And I never took it off my calendar. And psychologically, what that meant to me was it's okay not to do something, right? Hey, if it's not on my calendar. So now if it's on my calendar in 26, it's on my calendar. I'm going to make sure that it gets done. Right. So so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I go over to the rec center at 5 a.m. Right. And I work out. But if I'm not going on that day, so like I put it in there recurring every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Well, Christmas was, and yesterday was, right. So I went and I removed it from there because I wasn't going. It wasn't open. Right. So if I'm not going to do it, then it comes off of my calendar. Right. So that way I don't subconsciously start telling myself it's okay to skip that. Skip that. And then what I didn't do a lot of in 2025 that I'm upset with myself for is I didn't read a lot. So I mean, back in, I think it was 2022, I think I read 130 books or something that year, right? And so,
which is incredible.
And so I didn't read enough in 2025. So I want to make sure that in 2026, what I'll do differently, and I think helps form me better, is I need to read more, and that's just.
You think that centers you, reading?
No, I'm not. I don't have a doctorate. I don't have a degree from a college. You know what I'm saying? So I think reading is huge for how you develop yourself and stay on top of things. And I don't just read one, I'm not just reading, Tony Robbins books all year, right? I'm reading, history books. I'm reading different things because you can learn so much from. I don't do any fiction. I don't like fiction books.
No.
What are you reading then?
I haven't opened a book yet this year, so I don't know.
But like in 22 out of
Let them
150 books, were they like World War II or?
Oh, yeah. So leadership through kind of that kind of stuff.
Okay, yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
I got a great one
You
for
should
you.
read the Let Them theory.
The Let Them
Theory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will.
Let
That'll
them
be
be.
the first one that I read then. Because
You should. It's an amazing
Let
book.
Them Theory.
I'll say
So,
I think you should hug more in 2026.
there you go. Well, the one book that I think you would really enjoy, Kent, especially with the way you are and your intentionality, right, is called Authentic Success.
All right.
Right. It's not.
Before we get out of here, write these down for me. These would be the first two books that I read.
Yeah. So I think you really love that one because it's not most people when you think of reading like books like that, it's about success monetarily. It's not.
And when I say
Money
read,
means jack.
And when I say read, understand that's audiobooks. Right.
And that's reading.
And the reason that I do audiobooks is because I can speed it up to 1.5 or 2 times the speed.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
my wife does that.
So
Makes me
so
crazy.
my brain catches it, right? But
Instead of putting you to
what I
sleep.
what I found in 2025 is I did a lot of listening to, and I did it as research for the studio here, but I listened to a lot of podcasts. I listened to a lot of radio shows, talk shows and things of that nature as research, on how do we get better and how do we do things better here at 216 Creator Studios. And but then I find that it wasn't feeding me, right? I was listening, but then you get frustrated. You're like, what is this idiot fucking say?
Yeah.
So as I'm in the car, as I'm in the truck, and I can put an audiobook on instead of a podcast or this or that. which I think is what I need. I'm the best at that point. Right. The other thing that's happening in 2026 is, and folks, this is a special announcement. Two Bob Guys and a Microphone is coming back to the air here at 216 Creator Studios. Coach Papa, we've got Damon K. Ross, and now you have Deke and Mr. Scott Giles. We are bringing back the Two Bald Guys. So
I'm not bald, though, just in case you can't see. Just one spot.
Yeah. Wednesday
I'm learning.
Wednesday mornings at 6 a.m. Two Bald Guys and a Microphone is back. It's the first and third Wednesdays of each month. It won't be a weekly thing. It's every kind of other week, but the first and third Wednesday mornings at 6 a.m. So start hump day off the right way. And Two Bald Guys is coming back to the air. And I think you're going to love the format. I think you're going to love the group that we've got. Really
dynamic. Really dynamic.
Yeah. So the first two episodes are just, hey, here's who we are. Here's what the show is going to be coming up this Wednesday. So kind of a reintroduction into Two Bald Guys and a Microphone. And then funny enough, but then the third Wednesday of the month is how to keep your resolutions going. Right.
Yeah, that was a great segment. Yeah, that was a great segment. I mean, we could parlay that right into this real easily.
Yeah. So those are the three things really that I'm doing differently, intentionally doing differently in 26 to make 26 better than 25. Right.
Nice.
My 25 wasn't bad.
Do you feel you learn more from your audiobooks than your actual physical reading?
Yeah, because
comprehension goes up.
Because my brain does I'm like ping pong, and I'm like, why did I read this page 5 times and I still don't know what the hell it said, right? Or
never
I'm
been
read
there
out loud,
right? Every minute,
because I can't. My brain just will be bing bong, bing ping pong, pew pew pew, and then I'm like, I've been here reading this 3 pages for an hour, and I have no idea what I just read.
Yeah.
Right? But my brain, if it's on 1.5 speed or 2 speed, it's catching it. So it makes me focus a little bit stronger on what it is. I'm not using all the senses. I get it.
Deidre does that. I feel like you're listening to the Munchkins, man, when they're going so fast.
I actually had to give Sam the opposite resolution as you, Deke, which is she reads too many paper books and she doesn't like to rent. So we have book corpses all over our house. I mean, I have 3 bookshelves that are overflowing. We've got boxes and piles of books everywhere. So her resolution that I gave her was to read more off of her, read more digitally or listen to the audiobooks as opposed to. Well, no, because she loves.
Well, are you very intentional with the titles that you choose and the reasons in which you are doing them? Or do you just based on somebody like me saying, read this one? Why? What's in it?
Yeah, it's 50-50. So if somebody's like, oh, you would like this. Oh, you would like this. Okay. Right. Well, and why not? Right.
Well, does it fit into what journey you're trying to do? That's the thing. When I love people recommending things, right? Yeah, there's another great book out there called Traction. It's amazing for your business. You and Drew should probably read it because that will lay out just so many plans and so many different ways to grab your metrics from what you're doing.
No, and again, I just don't like fiction, right?
I don't either.
And I know there's a piece of nonfiction in every fiction.
It's like watching reality TV.
But the bottom line is, if Kelsey's like, hey, I think you should read this, there's a reason that's on our heart to say that, right? So I'm not the one like, I'm only going to do leadership reading this year, or I'm only going to do positive mental attitude reading. No. If there's something that if it's recommended to me, it means something to that person who thought that I would get something out of it. So yeah, let me jump in there and let me read it. And, let's see that I can have a discussion. Like, yeah, no, I read that. And I
didn't pull anything from it, or thanks anyway, but
Yeah.
So
I mean, to me, I've read biographies. I love biographies. I love history books. You can learn so much. Like, oh God, I didn't know that she did that. That's
right.
amazing.
I think that's one of the things that's a really good one to read is people that maybe there's a guy out there that wrote a book about building a media empire.
Yeah, I mean, how did Helen Keller know she had clean clothes on?
Smell.
was watching Taylor Tomlinson the other day, and she read a hot take, and she's like, Helen Keller didn't do all the things that they said she did, and like she has now they have to discuss on stage live.
Yeah.
That is hysterical. She's like, I've never heard such a horrible take from anybody ever.
Yeah, maybe get Sam a library card.
So
Save you a lot of money.
she's got a library card and she don't use it.
Listen, you guys forever have firewood in case anything ever goes down.
Well, the thing is, like, so I've made a rule where if she reads a book series and the book series is really good, I'll get her the hardcover to display up on the shelf. And I got her a little kit where she can do like gold leaf along the ends of the pages and along the spine of the book.
Cool.
So we can make our whole shelf like matching and look awesome. And she loves that. But like a lot of times she's in a lot of book clubs, and a lot of times she'll read a book that is 90% smut with her girlfriends.
Yeah.
And it's like, we don't need that on the shelf. You didn't even like it. You gave it a horrible review. Like, we don't need to have that.
Well, you should be happy she's reading those smutty
Well,
books. She
like,
might be trying things out on you that you didn't even know she knew.
No, I gotta hear you. There's
What?
nothing that's a bigger turnoff than reading what somebody thinks is a sexy scene in a romance novel.
Hey, you never know. You might love it. You might love it.
It's so awkward and I have to tell Sam, I'm like, imagine if these people actually said these things out loud. Imagine if I said these things out loud while we were getting it on. And she's like, oh, yeah, these are, and I'm like, right, those are things you say in your head. If I said them out loud, I would sound like a freaking psychopath.
That's right.
Like,
Well, maybe her intentionality of reading those books, Steve, is to be a better wife.
Here's what
I don't think so.
Here's what I love about 2026. The show's over already.
Why?
We're at the 1 hour mark, and just good stuff. I'm excited about 2026.
Yes, indeed.
A lot of great things that are going to be coming down the pipeline here at 216 Creator Studios as well, making 2026 even better. So we really look forward to everything, and of course, the Grounds loves starting off the Fridays with this craziness. So absolutely.
Hey, we appreciate you guys tuning in today with the Grounds. We, each and every week, please like, share, subscribe, share this with anybody that you think might like listening to, well, reality, right? I mean, what goes on in normal people's lives every day. It's not, we're not, pre-recorded or, trying to pander to anybody else. So check in, tune in live, guys. We really appreciate it. Go out there and be the change you want to be in the world. Work hard and be nice to people, man. It's just super simple, I think.
It's Tim Paul from Around the Piano podcast. Before we get too deep into today's chaos, let me shout out the people who make all this sound way better than it probably should. It's 216 Creative Studios. Listen, if your podcast sounds like it was recorded in a wind tunnel, or your video looks like it was filmed on a flip phone from 2007, stop everything you're doing and call these folks. They've got mics so clean you'll hear every sip of coffee, every awkward pause, and every guest who forgets they're being recorded. So whether you're starting a new show, shooting content, or just need somewhere to feel creative without your cat walking across the keyboard, 216 Creator Studios, they've got your back. So quit trying to DIY your dreams on your couch. Get in the studio where the magic happens. That's 216 Creator Studios, where your ideas sound like you actually meant to say that.